Wins and losses, you analyze what went down, you analyze your lead up into the bout, your preparation, what went wrong, what went right. Life is a lesson, right? You're forever learning and constantly growing. You should always look back at what you've done and use it to do more things. So I would just analyze everything. How committed was I? What went wrong? What went right? And then make those corrections for the next time. So the sun, you win, you lose, you go to sleep, you wake up. The sun goes down and it comes up the next day. It's no different. So you just analyze. You must do that on a win also. If you sleep on a win, you'll wake up with a loss. So you've got to stay analyzing your preparation and your focus and be honest to yourself. And that's happened to me. I've had many ups and downs in this game. For an example, for would be like the Diaz 1 rematch. The Diaz 1 fight. My preparation in the lead up to that, it wasn't. I was overtrained and I was run down by the time the fight came. And then midway through the second round, there was no more left in the tank. Then I went a bit more the scientific route, met the doctors and the trainers on the McGregor Fast program, and began formulating a proper training routine. And I was fully committed on my nutrition, on my training, on my sleep. I went to sleep at the same time. I woke up at the same time each day in camp, and I went and I avenged that loss. So
I've heard the word commitment, and how important is the commitment to discipline, and how hard is that for you to commit to discipline in the routine, in the preparation for the fights? And what would you suggest to young sportsmen, young people who are trying to become real leaders in life and sports? How do you recommend them to go with commitments?
I mean, we are all human. Without the work, if we do not put the work in, you won't get the reward. So that's it. Like I said, it's easy for someone to do this once, maybe even twice, but to do it year after year and time after time, that's when your commitment can drop. That's when other things can get in the way. That's when I may start paying attention to the football again, and then the fighting. I'm not giving it I'm not giving it 24/7. You know what I mean? So that's it. Just stay focused and put the work in, and if you are at it long enough, you will have ups and downs. You will have dips in commitment and lapses in concentration. But you just got to be honest to yourself and be aware, make those corrections, and carry on.
And psychological, your state of mind is super important, I guess, to sustain wins and if any loses, and also to go through discipline, to commitments and discipline. And how do you work on your psychological state of mind? Who does help you on that? Do you read specific books? Do you?
Yeah, I do read books about positivity and things like that. But really, for me, it's always been my confidence has always come from my work ethic. You know what I mean? I am a very, very hard worker in whatever I am engaged in. Sometimes I will, if I have one thing lined up and then I have another thing lined up, I'll put more work into one certain entity or business or whatever, and then the other one will not get that work, and then I will pay the price for that, and that's it. So, and you just got to put the work in and be confident. The confidence will come from the work ethic.
How do you feel about Vasil, and what do you know about him? What do you know about Ukrainian boxing culture, maybe?
I know boxing. I know Ukrainian boxing is phenomenal, second to none, in world sport, in world boxing. I know Vasil Lomachenko very well. I've studied his fighting for many years. He's a phenomenal boxer, the pound for pound #1 boxer on the planet today, I believe. For me, you must compete in mixed martial arts. There comes a stage where, if you are not, you've got to try. You are just lying to yourself if you stay in one discipline. It's not a complete fight. You've got to compete in mixed martial arts. I would like to see him compete now in mixed martial arts competition. I know he had some words about me or whatever, but me going to boxing to fight Floyd, it would be like him going to mixed martial arts to fight Henry Cejudo, who was an Olympic freestyle wrestling champion. I don't even think that's necessary. I don't think that's wise for him to do. But I do believe it's time for him to venture into mixed martial arts competition, personally.
Thank you, Conor.
Otherwise, you're just living a lie.
And the next question is from me regarding the Ukrainian boxers. You know who's Alexander Usyk?
I know Usyk very well. Yeah, he fought Tony Bellew, I believe, recently, and he's a phenomenal boxer. I believe he's going up into the heavyweight division. The heavyweight boxing division is absolutely phenomenal at the minute. You've got Tyson Fury, one of the cleanest boxers, one of the smoothest boxers in the division. You've got Anthony Joshua, freak athlete. You've got Deontay Wilder, freak power. What's the other guy? Ruiz. You've got him. He's also a crafty boxer, not similar to Tyson, but similar in quality of boxing. And also he's got that knockout power. So the heavyweight division, and now you've got Usyk as well going in there. The heavyweight division in boxing is very, very exciting at present, and I'm enjoying watching it.
The question is, what were the weak spots of Khabib that you've mentioned with your team that you could use if you decide to have an next fight?
Well, I believe we overestimated his grappling severely, and we also underestimated his striking. So they are things we will correct. You know, I will go on the offensive from a grappling standpoint. I believe I was winning the clinch exchanges in round three in round three in the bout. But it was a little too late in the bout, and also my lack of commitment, and you know, I wasn't as fully committed as I should be, carrying injuries and whatnot. So there's many things we can improve and sharpen up when the rematch happens.
And thank you for this answer. And how does this work of analysis going on? Like, you all sit together, you have a computer, and then the coach.
You know, for me, when I left the arena, I was just watching the bout repeatedly over and over and over again, and that's it, just continuing, just analysing the sequences, the moments, and then referring them to the training camp, what we were doing in training, and what was not necessary, what was necessary. Exactly like I was speaking on earlier, analyse what went right, what went wrong, make amends, and carry on. So we will continue, and we will make this right, no doubt.
And you definitely can expect this question. So what would be your next 2 fights? Who are you gonna fight?
We're very, very close to announcing it. Not just yet, but surely over the course of this trip we should have an announcement. So that's what we're aiming for.
And then, so there's at least commitment for one match, but are you gonna have more, like 2 or 3? For how long do you want to stay in MMA?
For me, I am looking at this next. For me, I used to fight every couple of weeks, really, before the UFC came. Then it was every couple of months. Now the politics of the prize got involved, and it's almost, I fight one and then I go off. I do not like that. You can't be like that in this game. I must continue. You know, consistency is another word. You know, you must be consistent. So once we get the first one done, and when we get past the politics of this, I will continue to go. I've faced very little damage inside the octagon. So I'm eager to get going and continue. Like, if I look at the run I had up to Eddie Alvarez when I won the second world title, it was consecutive bouts, bout. So I went into that Eddie Alvarez fight sharp, aware, fully prepared. And what happened on the night. One of the greatest performances in any title fight ever in the UFC. So that's what we are looking to continue on in the next time. Again, analyze what went wrong in the past, analyze what went right in the past, use it to go forward to the future.
Do you have rivals that you really want to fight and money doesn't play there?
I actually, funny enough, I just want to compete now. I was trying to get the December 14th card. For whatever reason, they've been holding me back. I'm giving them dates. I'm saying I want to fight this date, this date, this date, and this date in a row. And we had opponents selected and everything, and they're just making it very difficult for me for whatever reason. So now I'm kind of in a position where I'm actually I'm attempting to set up an event, a charity event. So I will compete. I've done this before in my hometown, but I've done it under boxing, in an amateur boxing event in my old boxing club, Crumlin Boxing Club. But I want to do it in mixed martial arts competition also. Create an event, find an opponent, compete, 0 prize. I do not care about the prize. The prize is in my home. I have 5 prizes in my home that I seek to get. I've got them. I just want to compete now. I want to come back. I want to get sharp. I want to show the best of myself. You know what I mean? And continue to climb. So that's what I'm seeking to do. So we are looking to do that sometime in December. Hopefully have a charity mixed martial arts event for 0 prize. The prize will go to charity. So that's what we are aiming for. So.
And to add on to that, is there anyone like
maybe Party Match can assist me in that? Maybe we can set this up. You know, that's what we are looking to do. Nothing got to do with anyone. Just a charitable bout where I compete for my fans. The fans are eager. The lady said, "We miss you," and it's been so long since you fought. I agree. It has been so long. It's not good. It's not applicable to the game. It's not how I rose to be the greatest of all time in this game. You've got to be consistent with it. So I'm looking to get back in and compete, and we are doing it any way possible, and I would love to do it for charity. I even offered for the Frankie Edgar bout to donate my purse to charity. I said, you can get, because they were saying they won't make enough money on the Frankie fight, and I was like, I don't care. Like, don't worry about me. Give my purse to charity, but for whatever reason, it's being made difficult. But like I said, we're almost there, so it's never easy with this crowd.
Thank you for sharing that. So now we're going for the predictions. Masvidal versus Diaz.
I think Diaz beats him. He's got crisper boxing, way more experience, and I think Masvidal has had a good run. He's on a 2-fight win streak. The game is very forgetful. I believe our sport is. I think Diaz has enough in it to do him. I think he's in a better space. You've got to factor in that. What kind of space is the fighter in? Because everyone's the best on their day. You know what I mean? So I think Diaz beats him. It'll be an interesting one. I think Khabib would probably beat him. Again, you've got to see what the circumstances are. Anyone can win on any given day. Tony is a formidable fighter also. You know, he's very, very tough. He does go down. He does get dropped. His guard has been passed. He's been mounted by a lesser fighter. So I would favour Khabib in that bout.
Now, Henry Cejudo, that's the right name?
Yeah.
And Valentina Shevchenko.
I'd go Valentina Shevchenko. We can't put 10,000 on that, right? We can't put 10,000. That's not going to happen. But I tell you what, that Shevchenko, that woman, the Shevchenko sisters, are phenomenal fighters. But Valentina is unbelievable. One of the greatest female fighters there ever was. So, I would say Valentina with the length and the range and the dangerous strikes would probably spark Henry.
Fighting the winner of Masvidal Diaz and Khabib Ferguson.
I designed that bad motherfucker belt. I actually designed that. I signed off on the design of how they are creating that belt. So most certainly, that belt was brought into fruition, brought to life because of me, the real bad motherfucker. So most certainly, one of those men is on my radar.